Hola y buenos días. Yo soy el señor Morris, el maestro de español. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Today, we're going to start a new unit called Familias del Mundo Hispano. Now, can you recognize any of the words in this title? The word familia is a cognate for family. And the part where it says del mundo hispano means of the Hispanic world. So during this unit, we'll be looking at family relationships and countries around the world where people speak Spanish. I've always really enjoyed looking at maps and learning about the world, so I really like this unit. But let's get started, as we always do, with our opening song. Canten conmigo. Hola, hola, buenos días, bienvenidos, ¿cómo están? Todos juntos ya estamos listos para aprender. Muy bien cantado. Well, we'll start today's lesson with a dictation activity. So get your paper and pencil or pen out while we review the alphabet again with this video. Try to say all of the letters along with the video, okay? Ahora, presten atención y repitan todos.
A. América. B. Biblioteca. C. Ciudad. Che. Chico. D. Dos. E. Escuela. F. Familia. G. Gobierno. H. Hospital. I. Iberia. J. Juego. K. Kilo. L. Libro. Y. Llama. M. México. N. 9. Ñ. Ñoclo. O. Oficina. P. Policía. Q. 15. R. Restaurante. R. Correos. S. 7. T. Tío. U. 1. B. 20. W. Washington. X. Xilófono. Y. Yo. Z. Zoológico.
Muy bien. Ahora saquen papel y lápiz o pluma para escribir estas letras. La primera letra es la M. La M. Okay. Did you get this one? La M de México. How about this letter? La E. La E de escuela. It's not A, E. It's this one, not E. Did you get that? E. Let's try another one. T. 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 De tío. T. Did you get la T? There it is. La T. How about R? La R de restaurante. R. There you go. Did you write down la R? And this last one should be pretty easy. O. O de oficina. O. That one should be pretty easy for you. La. O. That's that one. And if we put those all together, we get the word metro. Metro. Very good. And if you remember, that was one of the words that we talked about last unit. Can anyone show me how long a metro is? Well, I tell you what, before we get started on this new unit, I'd like to review all of the things that we've covered during the year. Now, in Unit 6, we talked about greetings and general polite phrases from the Spanish language. For example, who remembers how to say please in Spanish? If you want something, you say please. In Spanish, it is por favor. That's right. And if somebody does something nice, how do you say thank you? Gracias. Gracias. And if someone says gracias to you, what do you say? De nada. De nada. You're welcome. Well, how do you ask someone their name? If you just run into them and you want to know their name, how do you ask them? There you go. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? And if someone asks you your name, how do you answer? You'll say, me llamo, and then say your name. This young lady's named Ana. Me llamo, and then your name. Okay. Well, how do you ask how someone is doing? Yeah, how are you doing? How do you ask that? Remember? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Okay. But if we wanted to talk to an adult or to show someone respect, we would say, ¿Cómo está usted? That's right. ¿Cómo está usted? Because remember, that's to be polite. And if someone wants to answer, what will they say? Do you remember those? We said they can say, estoy bien, if they're doing pretty good. If they're not doing so well, they might say, estoy más o menos, more or less, huh? But if they're really doing poorly, they might say, estoy mal. Yeah. But we always hope that you guys are bien. Now, also in Unit 6, we talked about the parts of the head and the body. We'll have a lesson later in the year to review all of the things that we've done during this year, so I won't take time to review all of that right now. But you may want to review those things in your classroom. And teachers, you can use some of the old activity sheets or try some of the games that we played, such as Simon Says or Loteria. Now, in the next unit, we talked about measuring things. And the main things that we talked about were linear measurement and mass or weight. For linear measurement, we talked about these units. And let me see how big they are. They are centímetros. Do you remember how big a centímetro is? Show me. Did you say it was about that big? Yeah. We talked about metros. Do you remember how big metros are? They're about that big. Yeah, you have to put your hands apart to measure a metro. And then we talked about kilometros. And we said that a kilometro was way over there. Now, we also talked about weighing things, or mass, and we talked about these two units, gramos and kilogramos. Now, which was bigger? The kilogramos. That's right. Well, I hope that you all get a chance to keep reviewing all of these things from time to time to kind of keep it fresh in your memory. Now, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about family relationships. What are some of the family relationships that you already know? Raise your hand and tell your teacher. Teacher, if you want to put me on hold and talk about these before we get into it, you might want to do so now. Tell you what, let's go ahead and start with the people who are closest to you in la familia. Okay, la familia. Now, this word is a cognate, so you should all be able to recognize it, right? La familia. Let's start with the discussion of the family members now. Let's go ahead and start with this woman right here, Valeria. What would her relationship be to Luis and Carlos? Well, let me give you a hint. This woman helps you a lot every day, and she loves you very much. She is your mother. En español es la mamá. La mamá. Okay? And see, this word is a lot like the word mom. You can also call her madre, and that would be more like our word for mother. Okay? How about this guy here, Juan. What is his relationship to Luis and Carlos? He is their father, right? Their dad. Y en español es el papá. El papá. Now make sure that you put the accent on this word when you spell it, papá. Okay? Because otherwise you'll be calling him your potato. A papa is a potato. Papá is a dad. Well, how about this girl here? She's about maybe the same age as you. She has the same mamá y papá as you. Who would she be? Well, what is her relationship to Carlos? She would be his sister, right? En español es la hermana. Can everyone say that? La hermana. Okay. Well, how about Carlos's relationship to Luisa? Right? He's about the same age. They have the same parents. He would be her brother, o en español, el hermano. She's la hermana. He is el hermano. That's right. Now, hermana and hermano are their relationship to you, right? You have brothers and sisters. But what is their relationship to their parents, right? If it's a girl, if it's a child, we say she is their daughter, right? Y en español es la hija, la hija. If it's a boy child, what do we call him? In English, we call him a son. Can anybody guess what he's going to be in Spanish? El hijo. Carlos es el hijo de Juan y Valeria. Now, everyone has a mother and father. Even your mom and dad have mothers and fathers, right? So what do you call these people who are your parents' parents? You call them your grandparents. Now, if it's a woman, like Doña Rosana here, you call her your grandmother, right? In Spanish, we call her la abuela. La abuela. Can you see that? Okay. Now, if the guy is the father of your mother or father, we would call him your grandfather. Or in Spanish, anybody want to guess? Well, if you said el abuelo, you're right. Now, remember how we talked about being polite and showing respect for people? Well, sometimes we show respect to people by calling them Mr. or Ms., right? In Spanish, we call people don y doña in Spanish to show a lot of respect. And when we call them don or doña, we use their first name instead of their last name. So that's why you saw that on the family relations chart. We might call somebody Don Carlos or Doña Maria. And if we do that, it shows that we respect them a lot. Sometimes people show that they like young people by calling them son or daughter in a special way, right? What they do is they take the words for my son, mi hijo, right? Mi hijo, which would mean my son, and they combine them to make the word mijo. Mijo. They do the same thing for the word for my daughter, mi hija, to make the word mija. Now, if you hear someone say one of these words, mijo or mija, that doesn't mean that they are the parents of the person. It just means that they like the young person a lot. Right now, I'd like for all of you to review the family relationships that we've been talking about with this video while we get ready to go over our activity sheet. Ahora, pongan atención y repitan todos.
La familia. La madre o la mamá. El padre o el papá. El hermano. La hermana. La abuela. El abuelo.
Muy bien. Ahora, saquen la hoja de actividades llamada Miembros de la Familia. And it looks like this. There it is, up at the top, Miembros de la Familia. Go ahead and start off Write your name, Roberto. Now, the instructions say, fill in the blanks using the vocabulary provided. Okay, and we have all of the words that we talked about today. Abuela, mamá, hermana, hija, abuelo, papá, hermano, hijo. Now, let's look at some of these relationships, okay? Don Sabino es el que de Carlos y Luisa. Well, let's see there. Don Sabino, here he is up here, es el que de Carlos y Luisa. Carlos y Luisa. What is his relationship to Carlos y Luisa? He's their grandfather. Y en español es el abuelo. So what you'll do is you'll write your answer here. Abuelo. Don Sabino es el abuelo de Carlos y Luisa. Now, once you finish that, and you've written all of these answers in here, you'll come down to the bottom part, and it says, write the answers from above in the blanks. Read the words in the box going down to find out what we'll be studying this unit. So I'm going to take the word that I wrote up here, number 1, abuelo, and I'm going to write it down here. A, B, U, E, L, O, in the blanks. Okay? So once you write down all of your answers up here and you copy them down here into these, you can read this going down and you'll find out what we are going to be studying in this unit. So I hope that you got some notes, or you can go back and look at the videotape again to see what all of these relationships are called. Today, we started to look at some of the family relationships, but obviously we didn't talk about all of the possible relationships. Next class, we'll review what we talked about today, and then we'll add some more family relationships. See if you can figure out before our next class what some of the other family relationships we haven't talked about yet are. Saben que ya es hora de despedirnos. For our goodbye song today, let's sing La Bamba. And remember to periodically go over the things that we've been covering in the unit, in the various units, so that those will remain fresh for you, okay? Kind of like what we did today. Also, you might want to sing some of the songs again. Like La Bamba. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia para ti, para mí, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Everybody help me out now. Bamba, bamba. Sing it again. Bamba, bamba. Sing it a little bit softer now. Real soft now. A little bit louder. Bamba, bamba. A little bit louder. Bamba, bamba. Real loud now once. Bamba, bamba. Good job. Until our next class. Adios y hasta luego. Bamba, bamba.